I think one problem a lot of people have nowadays is being themselves. Doing what you want and not following someone else's path or whatnot. A lot of people get stuck trying to fit in and basically just be whatever their friend group wants them to be. A lot of people don't know how to be themselves. And if there's one thing I can say, bro, being yourself is gonna take you so far in terms of everything, in terms of relationships, you know, in terms of people respecting you, in terms of things going your way, in terms of you getting things done. You got to be yourself, bro. You can't be trying to keep up with an image that you know is not you, and that's something that a lot of people can relate to, and me as well, because I was stuck, you know, being a certain person that I knew I wasn't, that I knew never was me. I was, and it's all because how people view you, and that's one thing I started to realize. I'm like, this is who I hang around. This is the type of energy that I'm giving out, and sometimes what I would do was I would try my hardest to view myself from a different perspective, from a different point of view. Like I would try to view myself from like my brother's point of view, or like from some random stranger's point of view, and just see how like the average person would view me. And once I started to realize, damn, so this is how everybody is seeing me. I was like, I can't be that person no more. Like I want to be something better. I want to be somebody whose life is filled with more success. And because the type of the view that like I was seeing, as far as like looking from a different point of view, and looking at myself, I didn't like what I saw. So it was like, at a certain point in time, it was like, I had to make a change. I had to change who I was. I had to change what I was doing on a daily day basis. I had to change who I hang around. You feel me? I had to change my point of view. You feel me? And I just had to just change in general, because, like I said before, I didn't like what I was seeing. So I know a lot of y'all, hearing that can relate to that. Like a lot of us grew up in certain environments, and we hang around certain people that we just grew up, and it's not even like we choosing that route. It's just like it's from our point of view, it's just normal. Like like I ain't really. I mean, I choose the people I hang around, but it's like shit just happens. Like that's life. Like some people don't have friends, some people got friends, and I ain't gonna say I didn't choose my friends, but my friends, they chose me. You feel me? So it's like it go both ways. But basically, what I'm saying is just like you might find yourself getting to a point in life where it's like you just want to change, you want something different. You know, follow that gut feeling, bro. Is you don't feel that way for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like certain friend groups, bro. You like, you know, like say for instance, we see a lot on like the internet where it's like people go to less fortunate like neighborhoods, and like you might see a few people out just sitting out on the street or whatnot, right? And like you gotta think it be people in their mid 30s, late 20s, not even late 20s, but mid 30s, pushing 40s, like the older heads or whatnot, right? And they be sitting out on the porch, or not even on the porch, but like on the block or whatnot, right? And it's just like damn, so that's their life. That's what they chose to do with their life, like and it's just like, and then you might see them, laughing and chopping it up with other people, on a block or whatnot, and they all look similar, and it's like damn, so like that friend group right there. I don't know if they like for instance, like you know situation like this. I don't know if like they grew up together, but you just see, and it's like damn. So that's who they chose to hang around. That's what they chose to do in their meantime. Sit and chill on the block. And it's like you could think of that and like as if like if you view the things that you're doing with your friend group and it's not aligning to the future that you want, it's not for you. You have to cut that shit off. You have to, and if you don't want to cut it off, you got to like take time away from that in general. And this is why I say, you got to be yourself, man. And I really think the internet made it harder for you to be yourself, because it's like It's so many like people out here that's doing so good in life and that's achieving success. It's like every other day you see, a new young person gaining success, and it really motivates you. Like it really makes you really want to get up and work every day to get, you know, to that position in life. But not everybody though. Not everybody, sees that and wants to change their life. But for the people that do, y'all can relate, bro. It's like now it's like every day you see somebody new gaining success. And it's like now it's so often where we see people's journeys. Like I know for a lot of people like that's watching me, maybe in a year or two, y'all might see me in a better position. Then y'all might say, damn, y'all watch me come up. And it's like that happens so often now to where it's like if you're not on your shit and you're not working towards something better for yourself right now, bro, in the year 2026 as a grown ass adult, damn, I feel bad for you, bro, because your future might not look as bright, bro. I'm telling you, because like things is only getting harder. Like for my parents and their parents when they was coming up, the economy wasn't as bad. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they could work a regular job and afford certain things, if not everything. Like they could afford a house, so damn near everything. They could afford everything pretty much, all the necessities. But now it's like the world ain't the same no more, bro. Like you can't just fuck around and think that life gonna be cool and shit. Nah, bro, you gonna start struggling. You ain't gonna be able to pay bills on time. You gonna be living paycheck to paycheck. You gonna have times where you can't pay this bill, you can't pay that. And you wanna know why? It's because you didn't work and spend the time working to put yourself in a better position, man. That's why I stress this so much on this channel. I'm trying to get y'all to change your life. Because I'm saying this because I know it's a lot of people out here who just like they give up. And like you can look at me and you can take what I'm saying and you can apply what I'm saying to your life. You don't have to view me and say, oh, he this and that, because I'm not successful yet. So there's nothing you can say, about me. Like a lot of people wait until somebody gets successful and they start saying this and that. It's easy for you to say. It's easy for you to say because you already got success. I'm not even there, and I'm telling you this. So if you listen to this video, man, take life serious, man. Create your own path. Work towards your goals, man. Set down some goals and work towards them, and like manage your time wisely. Don't be doing dumb shit. Stop getting distracted by bullshit, bro. Because you gotta think. It's only so much time you have, bro. There's only so many opportunities that life gonna throw at you. It's only so many mornings where you gonna wake up and feel motivated to do certain things. After a certain amount of time, after once you get older, you gonna lose the motivation. You're gonna lose the fire. You're not gonna have the fire in you. And I'm not knocking it for all the older people watching. I'm just saying, like, on your journey, the longer you take on your journey of achieving financial freedom, the longer you take bullshit and wasting time, you're naturally just going to lack the fire in you. It's just going to go away. It's going to go out. You feel me? And this could happen if you in your late 50s and you just now started trying to better your life and you're starting your financial journey, because a lot of people waste so much time and don't realize it. So if you just now tapping in and trying to change your life, it's fine. It's okay. you know can't nobody knock you for trying. Can't nobody knock you for trying to change your life. You feel me? So, but if you do wait and start later on in life, you gotta realize, you know, you playing a risky game. You feel me? Like you can't wait to end game to try to you know achieve financial freedom. Once you enter end game, and when I say end game, I mean the later stages of life. And I'm gonna be real and blunt, because that life is real and blunt. Life isn't just no. It ain't life ain't a movie. It feel like a movie and it might be a movie, but it's not a this ain't a fantasy, bro. Like, life get real. So it's like if you wait until you get real older, you know, you might not have the fire in you to put in that work. And that's what I'm saying, man. Take the time now. Start your craft now. You know, every time that we see ourselves on the internet, because we're in a way different age than our parents and great parents lived. we're in an age of social media. You know, like people like back like 15, 20 years ago, people could never imagine. 30 years ago, 40, people could never imagine that you would be able to have a full-time career on social media, like the internet, fully digital. Like there's no physical, like, yeah, people do physical shit, like make videos and what the whoop, but like no one ever really imagines that you could just like have a whole job on the internet. And that's a real thing nowadays. And it's actually more normal than you think. It's more people out here with YouTube channels, not even just YouTube channels, like, streaming channels, or like, whether they do music or whatnot, whether they do art, whatever they do, man. It's a lot of people that, utilize social media to their advantage financially. And if you haven't started doing that, you need to take advantage of it now, because man, it's that's a great, side income to have. You're not, it's for the most part, it's less labor, and there's so many more benefits. But basically, what I'm trying to say in this video is, man, be yourself. Don't feel like you gotta fit in with your group, with your friend group, or with the people around you, your family. Find your lane and stay in your lane, bro. And whatever you do, prioritize your finances and your situation. Whether you're female, male, a kid, grown up, fucking, if you older, you're an OG in your late 40s, 50s, it don't matter who you are, bro. You have to prioritize certain things in this life in order for you to end up in a position that, you would favor. A lot of people end up in sticky situations because they just don't prioritize the right things. They waste time partying, you know, they waste time drinking. A lot of people can relate to the fact that they done drank their life away for like so many years, and then it's just like, damn, like, like, and this is for the people who is like, they haven't taken the time to build something on the side to add more value to themselves. A lot of them, they drink their life away. They go years and years and years drinking and smoking and indulging in all these drugs, but never taking the time to invest in themselves, never taking the time to build certain skills, never taking the time to build something. So all this time gets wasted, and they end up in a predicament that no one wants to be in. No one wants to live an average life. And when I mean average, average isn't the same average as it was 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 40, 50 years ago. Average back then was okay. The average person back then, I'm pretty sure, was making good money, in terms of the economy. Like they was able to afford, you know, things, and they was better off in general. The average person wasn't rich, but at least they was, it was stable families everywhere. Now it's just like, that's rare. You feel me? You got to go to the suburbs, and even if you go to the suburbs, you got to go deep searching through the suburbs to find some families. You're gonna see some, but it's just not as, a lot of things have changed in this world. So like, you gotta be the one. You gotta change your life, bro. And, I can't stress that enough. And I'm saying this. I'm putting this out for myself too. That's why I'm doing what I can to work day by day, towards my goals. But man, make sure you take time out to change who you are. If you find yourself, doing a lot of things, and it's like, damn, I don't really want to do these things. I don't really want to be going here and there. I don't feel like going out today with them. I don't feel like doing this. I don't really want to buy these type of clothes. Stop. Be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, and if you don't, you're gonna get dragged around, as far as like life. You're gonna allow life to drag you around to certain things, like, certain experiences. You have to, that's what, and I just made a video, titled "Take Control of Your Life." A lot of y'all be like allowing life to control you. Like your situation, you allow your friends to control your life. If they say do this, if they say, oh, we want to plan this and do this, and you just a yes man, you just a yes lady. Never saying no, never saying nah, not this time. You just never say no. You just always saying yes, always doing whatever everybody else wants to do. Don't expect your life to change. Don't expect to be in a good situation in the future. Don't expect to be set off financially because you'll never have the discipline to change your life. So that's all I got for today's vid, man. I can't say, bro, the internet has made it extremely hard for you to be yourself, man, because there's so many things out there, so many people and examples out there, you know, so many trends. There's so much shit that, just a lot of people can get caught up in. And you gotta be the one to take the time to change your life. You gotta be the one to put your foot down and really lock in, you know? It's up to you, man. But I'm gonna catch y'all next one, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and peace out, man.